Hello, and welcome to Luminous Lights and Ghastly Ghouls. My name is Shelley, and I'm one of the librarians with the Maricopa County Library District. Today, we are scouring the blogs, the internet, and some amazing books for some fantastic ideas for bringing Halloween and the fall season to your home. If you're looking for some socially distanced spookiness and a lot of family-friendly fun, this is the perfect program for you. Since I'm on my own, I'm not wearing a mask at the moment, so you can hear me more clearly. Let's get started. One of the things that I love about autumn is how quickly it goes to twilight and looking at fires and candles. There's just something mysterious and beautiful about it. And I love luminarias for the same reason. Thankfully, we've moved away a little bit from the brown paper bags with the flaming candles inside to some less flammable and more colorful options. I have really enjoyed the simplicity of taking tissue paper and different silhouette shapes against a glass of some form, whether you're using an old mason jar, a vase. There's so much flexibility that you can do. It really is a lot of fun. But glass isn't the only thing that you can reuse and recycle in this manner. I love how Condo Blues took milk containers and used solar lights with them. It generates electricity and energy during the day from the sunlight itself, and you have the ghostly figures through the daytime. And then at night, these figures come to life, lining your driveway or patio. It's a lot of fun. I've also seen variations where they took large water jugs, spray painted them, and made them look like Frankenstein. So there's a lot of variety that you can look at with these types of activities. If you don't want to have solar lights around all year long, you can also use some battery-operated fairy lights, LED lights, or glow sticks. Speaking of glow sticks, they offer a lot of flexibility these days. I've seen people that put glow sticks inside of balloons and then drew faces on them, used them to create ghosts, and Bored Panda took creepy to a whole new level. They took water balloons, dropped a glow stick inside, so you get this incredible oscillating water effect rippling across the ground, and then they suspended each of those lit water balloons inside a stocking. It's not only a great way to recycle those old stockings that get torn after a few uses, but it is a truly incredible effect for dangling from trees, patios, porches, and the ceiling. I've only seen the movie It once, but this always reminds me of one particular scene and is both a beautiful and a shudder-inducing style for decor. And we can't talk about luminarias without mentioning jack-o'-lanterns. While the pumpkin is traditional, you can use almost any round or gourd-shaped object as long as the outside edge is strong enough to hold up to some carving. I love this jolly green bat from mom.com. And one of the great things about using a hard-shelled fruit or other gourd is that most of the time we end up scooping out and wasting a lot of the insides of the pumpkin. And so if we use something else, such as watermelon, or in our next example from popsugar.co.uk, the pineapple, both provide an amazing carving experience, and we get the full benefit of using the entirety of the fruit. And I have to admit, I don't know if it's just the angle of those eyes for the carving or all of the amazing bumpy textures on the pineapple itself, but that is an absolutely terrifying jack-o'-lantern. Next, we're going to take a look at different elements of decor that you can bring into your own home. Each of these can really be elevated for an elegant and spooky atmosphere, or it can be made possible for kids and families to do together for a fun afternoon of socially distanced activities. First up, Martha Stewart takes the ghost and shows us how to make the most out of it with her cheesecloth spirits. She used styrofoam modeling heads that you can find in almost any store around this time of year, and she took long lengths of cheesecloth. The secret to this is that the cheesecloth is adhered tightly with glue or other adhesives to the styrofoam head up until the point of the chin. After that, it's left to wander and flow freely wherever the wind may take it. You can also distress the bottom edges of this, and it provides just an amazing overall effect. To make sure that your spirits are flowing with the breeze when it's completely still out, try hanging them and then setting up an outdoor fan in a subtle location. The breeze will do wonders with those trailing lengths of the cheesecloth. Now you can also do cheesecloth ghosts for all different shapes, sizes, and degrees of definition. The bigger and heavier the material that you're using, the more likely it is that you'll need some sort of support in there. This could be like hanging it from a tree, like with the cheesecloth ghosts, or maybe creating a wire or tomato cage framework for your ghost. For some fun effects, I've seen ones that have glow sticks inside. I've seen ones that have been spray painted with UV paint. I've seen them also made out of a cheesecloth that is actually blue light reactive or black light reactive and will glow in the dark itself. So whether you're using cheesecloth or plastic bags and tomato cages for the armature or just bottles, I'm sure your ghost will look amazing. This piece of decor hit the nail on the head, literally. Epcot.com took a dollar store shield, skull, and tea lights and combined them into these skull wall sconces. Each of the pieces were put together, and then hot glue was used to create some trailers of wax between the tea light and the skull itself. Everything was painted for effect and hung up on the wall. Now for these paranormal photos, Bored Panda took historical photos, either of your family or you can find just other individuals of interest, put them into a frame or a mason jar, vase of some sort, and they cut out the eyes and only the eyes. Then when they lit a tea light behind them, they had an eerie, ghostly glow. Also from Bored Panda are these amazing spider luminarias. They give me the shudders every time I see them. But just take either a tea light or a glow stick and drop it into a mason jar, along with some shredded cotton wads or pieces of fake spider webbing material and a few plastic spiders for a very strong effect. You can use this as a luminaria in your yard to line a walkway or for decor on your mantle or table. One of my favorite activities and crafts to do at the library is that we recycle book pages from titles that have been damaged over the years and we need to remove from our collection into a beautiful seasonal wreath. You can do the same thing by adding some autumn leaves for a bit of seasonal flair, or use either magazines or newspapers. Spray paint the pages black for a glossy, incredibly dark, saturated effect. And however you decide to secure your pages, or papers to the wreath form. This is a craft that can be done very inexpensively with a very sophisticated final appearance and very minimal costs. Next, we're going to look at some games and activities. I'm currently filming this in early October, and we don't know what the end of the month is going to look like. If your family decides that you want to have a socially distanced holiday, we're providing some suggestions and activities that will help you do that. And if you aren't worrying about social distancing as much, you can still incorporate these for a really fun celebration. Though Mary Poppins is not considered a Halloween movie, I always remember her line about adding elements to fun to things that must be done. Adding gamified elements such as chance through a spinner or a dice roll can take ordinary activities and make them incredibly engaging. Also, an element of suspense or hiding, figuring out clues, all increase the playful aspects of things. When we were doing community fairs, one of the favorite elements that we would have at any booth was a large spinner that the kids could or adults could spin. But we had different yoga poses on each of the slots with the spinner. There wasn't always a prize for doing it, but people just loved seeing what came up on the spinner and then trying to replicate the motions. We had adults standing around watching their kids doing yoga for 15 minutes and just amazed at the fact that not only were the kids exercising without being told, they weren't looking at it as exercise. It was a fun game. So anytime you can bring gamification or game elements into activities, you can really enhance the pleasurable experience for both you, your guests, and your kids. If a decision or an action has to be determined, try rolling a die or spinning a spinner, maybe flipping over a card. All of these will add an element of uncertainty and anticipation to whatever activities you're doing. There are some absolutely amazing Halloween or fall-themed minute-to-win-it games available on the internet with materials that you probably already have in your home or can find very easily at most stores. By combining a couple of these different activities into relays and challenges, and then adding a spinner effect to see whether winners get a trick or a treat can add another layer of fun. Each of the suggested activities, the trick or the treat, is something small, easily doable, will have some fun element to it. With a trick, this might be something as simple as having to sing a song or solve a math problem, do 5 jumping jacks, something like that. Well, a treat might be represented by a party favor, a single piece of candy, a sticker, a hug, anything like that that is appropriate for your household and your circumstances for the event. The folks at playpartyplan.com created this really fun Poke-a-Pumpkin board where the trick and the treat are incorporated in the same space and you don't know which you're going to get. It's really easy to do. You simply take a board and then you cut out holes or spaces like for a solo cup or some sort of disposable cup, and you put whatever the trick or the treat is inside the cup, cover it with a little square of tissue paper, probably held in place with a rubber band, and then you insert this into the board. Whenever your winner is ready to get their trick or their treat, they simply have to poke through that tissue paper to expose their prize. It's fairly common to have games such as pumpkin bowling, pumpkin toss, pumpkin chuckin', things like that. But sometimes the idea of taking these objects like the pumpkins and essentially destroying them doesn't sit well with families, especially considering all that we've heard in the last year or so about food insecurity. Whether you're opposed to food waste, you want to economize, or you want something soft so that if the pumpkin hits somebody, there are no injuries and ER visits, this could be a really good option for you. Simply take a toilet paper roll, wrap it in a square of orange fabric or even tissue paper. You get some really beautiful artistic creases in there that evoke the curves of the pumpkin itself. And when you're done with the activity, you can wash the fabric, fold it, and set it aside for next year or another project. And you can put the toilet paper back into circulation or give it away as a door prize. Popcorn is another really popular autumn treat, and a popcorn relay can be a fun outdoor socially distanced activity. Each of the cups are secured over the shoes using rubber bands and paper clips. A small hole is punched in the bottom of the cup. A paper clip is placed in there with a rubber band hooked through it. Since you draw the rubber band through the hole and then wrap it over your shoes so they sit right over your toes. TipJunkie.com has some great photos of the process. For a relay, try challenging people to fill up a cauldron full of popcorn. You can choose the size and how much contact or space is between the players. You may have each individual in their own lane to fill up their own cauldron, or you may have family groups working together to navigate the popcorn from one person to another all the way along the line to finally fill up the cauldron. Whoever's cauldron is filled first is the winner. And the great thing is, this is fantastic as an outdoor activity now that the weather is starting to cool down a little bit. It will be messy, so we do recommend doing this outside or in a driveway, but as long as you use plain popcorn, you may get some help in cleaning things up from the birds. Another traditional and very easily socially distanced activity and challenge is the classic cornhole. You can have separate bean bags for each individual or each team, or just make sure that the bean bags are washed or cleaned off periodically. While some families prefer to purchase a commercially made and professionally sized cornhole kit, you can make things with very simple ingredients from around the house. You can repurpose old boxes and pizza boxes and any sort of cardboard that you might have lying around to make your cornhole board. And then if you don't have bean bags, take Ziploc bags, fill them up with either beans or rice, and tape them shut. The great thing is you can bleach off the outsides during each round. If you go all out, all you need to do to save it for next year is cover it with a clear sealant coat, fold it up, and set it someplace in the garage or a closet. And if you don't want to keep it, you can make a different one next year. Now, Pong is a really popular game and another one that is very easy to socially distance with. And there are so many different ideas out there for throwing ping pong balls into little cups or targets. ProductivePete.com takes this a step further by making them monster eyes. To add in additional gamification, you may have to win monster eyes with other previous games in order to use them during future activities. The possibilities really are endless. For many families, it just isn't Halloween without trick-or-treating, and wondering how to do that safely and in a socially distanced fashion can be a little tricky. However, we are taking a spin on the old Easter traditions for this particular one. Take those Easter eggs that have been sitting in the closet or are on sale online, spray paint them with glow-in-the-dark paint, or stick a little battery tea light inside, and you now have glowing monster eggs that you can scatter around your house, your apartment complex, your yard for a super fun activity. And inside each egg, the kids will find not only the light or the glow stick, but whatever little fun-sized piece of candy, sticker, or toy is hidden inside. And finally, Halloween isn't just about games and activities and things, But so many holidays are tied together around family interactions with food traditions, so we can extend this to Halloween as well. Going off of what we did earlier, as far as borrowing from other holidays, why not make a gingerbread house? But this time, it is the most spooky haunted house on the block. You can use the traditional graham cracker sides and some black cookie frosting, or you can make this two-dimensional by cutting a house shape out of brownies or cookie dough and decorating it to your heart's content. This will be a fun activity that the entire family will enjoy making and devouring. We're taking our jack-o'-lanterns to the dinner table as well, with Taste of Home's variation on the jack-o'-lantern made out of oranges. These little guys are easy to carve with either a paring knife or even your fingernail, and then you can stuff it with a wonderful fruit salad, brownie bites, candy, really whatever you enjoy. I've also seen these used as true jack-o'-lanterns by inserting fairy lights, a tea light candle, or a glow stick inside the orange. And if you're looking for a savory version of this, how about orange peppers? FoodNetwork.com had a wonderful hot dish with macaroni, ground beef, peppers, all stuffed inside this grinning bowl. While WonkyWonderful.com made these spooky black and white candied apples using melting chocolate, coconut oil, and black cookie frosting to create these edible Jack Skellington heads. And for our last item, we are looking at the Polyjuice Potion from Harry Potter. InLiterature.net has some amazing book-themed recipes, including this Polyjuice Potion, which will actually change color depending on what you add to it. This is a fantastic STEM experiment for families and a jaw-dropper among adults as well. We highly recommend it. If you're looking for more things that you can create to enhance your Halloween experience or your fall season, check out the library's website. Our electronic libraries are available 24/7, and you can now pick up materials through both curbside pickup and our pop-in pickup option. We have a number of great items for holiday decoration, including mason jar crafts for kids, stitch, create, and craft for all occasions, and my personal favorite for Halloween, Artful Halloween, 31 frightfully elegant projects. And if you're looking for music for your holiday soundtrack, I highly recommend Freegal. It offers 24/7 music streaming, and you can download 5 songs every week per library card that are yours to keep. The app is really easy to use, or you can access it through a web browser. They have a number of curated playlists and albums specifically for Halloween. Hoopla is also a great one for listening to music. They have movies, TV shows, ebooks, audiobooks, and albums all through one source. Finally, Canopy is a video streaming service that we launched fairly recently. I absolutely love all of the different films and documentaries in here, and you can definitely find some that are great for Halloween. Well, that's it for today's program of Luminous Lights and Ghastly Ghouls. Please take a moment to like, review, and share our online programming, and check out our podcast, now available on Stitcher and other podcast platforms. Did you create one of the crafts in today's program? Or is there a particular book or movie that you like to watch or explore every year and every Halloween? Let us know through social media and on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you and see what luminous lights and ghastly ghouls haunt your home this Halloween season. Goodbye for now, everybody. Or perhaps I should say, good boo for now.